We're continuing the Journey to Atlantis by Thea Stilton on chapter 16, which is page 82. First stop, Argentina. While Leopold and I distracted Professor Kesar, the Thea sisters and the boy with the blue skin quickly made their way to the dock to catch a ferry to the mainland. From there they headed straight to the airport. The busy terminal was crowded with rodents, and the boy looked uneasy. He stuck close to the mouselets as they checked their luggage and boarded the plane. "Don't worry," Paulina sat next to the boy. "Don't worry," she said, even though she knew he didn't understand. "We're going to find someone who can help us." "Let's open the envelope," Colette cried once the plane took off. Her voice was filled with excitement and a little fear. Violet took the envelope out and found exactly one sheet of paper inside. The Thea sisters gathered around her and read the message to their carefree look around. The tower's appearance is deceiving. The Thea sisters looked at one another confused. The message wasn't very clear. "Maybe we need to look for this tower in Argentina," Colette mused. "Or maybe there's a code of some kind in the clue." Violet suggested, "Let's study it." Pam took a cheese sandwich from her bag. "I can't study on an empty stomach." Pam leaned over the seat to take a look at the message. She took a bite just as the plane jolted in the air, and Pam lurched forward. Some spicy sauce flopped from her sandwich onto the letter. "Sorry," Pam cried. She held out a napkin to clean it. "It's no use," Violet sighed. "The paper is stained. You can hardly read it anymore." Paulina looked thoughtful. "I think I just discovered the code." She took the letter. "Look, the stain has left only each word's initial letter visible. So if you put the first letter of each line into one word, it spells Kletai," Colette added. "What does that mean?" Pam asked. "C could stand for calle, which means street in Spanish." Paulina guessed. "Lata could be the name of a street, and I could stand for the number 1, the building number." Nikki finished. "Polly, you're a genius." Between the clouds. During the flight, the blue-skinned boy silently stared out the window. Not long ago, he had entered the belly of a giant metal vehicle. When he sat down and looked outside, he saw a long strip of black asphalt. What is it?
Asphalt.
Asphalt
That's
stretching
like
in front of them. Was it some road they were going to travel? When the door was closed, he felt as though he were back in the ship that had taken him away from his own. For a moment, his thoughts drifted far away, all the way to his kingdom hidden in the depths of the sea, Atlantis. This was the land of his people, the land where he was born, and now he wasn't sure if he would ever be able to return. The vehicle rumbled, waking him from his daydream. It moved faster and faster, and the boy noticed the metal wings attached to the craft. He had no idea what to expect. As the craft raced even more quickly, the boy smiled, despite the sadness in his heart. It reminded him of the afternoons he had spent in Atlantis with his sister, Astra. They would race down the steep slopes of the Coral Hills in a horse-drawn carriage on their way to the palace of the 10 Kings. His sister's wavy blue hair would dance on her shoulders as the carriage picked up speed. And how she laughed! Astra loved the thrill, and he often encouraged her to spur on the horses so they would run even faster. The horses were quick and strong, but their speed was nothing compared to this metal craft.
Big picture. Okay, just wait with that. Okay, let's do one side at a time here. Okay. And here, there seems to be a special message here. Hang on a second. Whoops. Sorry. Okay, I wonder if he can guess what it says without looking backwards. Any ideas what that might say? Okay, go ahead and put the mirror up there. We're going to look in the mirror and see. Oh, did you guess correctly? What does it say?
The Coral Hills.
Great.
The force pressed him back against his seat, leaving him breathless. As he looked out the window, he noticed that the big winged vessel was rising from the ground. The craft began to soar upward like some giant bird. He was flying! Amazed, he watched through the window as everything on the ground became smaller and smaller. The streets looked like spiderwebs, and the wavy coastline looked like as if it had been drawn by a child. The vast sea sparkled in the sunlight. The boy couldn't take his eyes off of it at all. He marveled at the imagination of the inhabitants
Inhabitants, yeah.
inhabitants
People
of
that
this
live there.
strange world. They had invented a vehicle that could fly. He was sailing through the clouds, perfect wisps of white that stretched across the sky. There was nothing like them in Atlantis. Yes, his kingdom had streets paved with gold and the upside-down tower and other wonders. But right now, nothing compared to this sensation of flying. He was lost in thought when he felt someone's eyes on him. He looked up to see Paulina smiling at him. She opened up a map and pointed to a tiny island. Mouseford, she said. Mouseford. He recognized that word. It was the place where he had washed ashore. He watched as Paulina's paw traced a line on the map across the ocean and landed on a large continent. Could this world really be so big? Paulina pointed to one of the land areas outlined on the map and said a melodious word.
Melodious?
Melodious, whatever you say.
Melodious, like musical?
Word. Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
3 important hats. As soon as the plane landed, the Thea sisters hurried out of the airport and hailed a taxi. Carlotta, number 1, please, Paulina told the driver. The car sped up and off into the heart of Buenos Aires. They navigated through the maze of the city until coming to a street that was practically hidden away. The driver stopped the car. The mouselets thanked him and got out feeling kind of slightly confused. They had expected to be at a detective agency or somewhere official looking, but they found themselves in front of a hat shop.
Oh.
Are we sure this is the right place? Violet asked. The address and the unusual street name are right, said Pam. I'm not so sure, Paulina said
Warily.
but then the boy gave her an encouraging smile. Well, we did come all this way. We might as well check it out, she said, smiling back. Inside the shop, they were greeted with an explosion of colors and shapes. Shelves and tables held hats of every style. There was feathers, flowers, ribbons, veils, pom-poms, and more. The Thea sisters stared at the spectacle wide-eyed.
Okay, just a minute. Looking at this big picture. Okay, let me do a zoomed out shot of the whole thing. Or try to. Today we have some sisters here that are listening in. Okay, turn the page. No, they can. They're fine as long as
A
they're
voice
quiet.
snapped them back to their mission. Hello! They didn't see anyone, but behind the counter, a nest of branches holding a live robin had popped up. When the nest rose higher, underneath it they saw the round, smiling, friendly face with smiling eyes. The mouselets realized that the nest was actually a funny hat.
With the real robin in it.
Yeah. How can I help you? Asked the hat's wearer. She seemed to own the shop.
You're being distracted.
Nikki stepped forward. Hello, we're looking for someone named Kelly. The owner thoughtfully tipped her chin. Kelly? What's her last name? Actually, we don't know, admitted Colette. We only know her first name. Suddenly, the boy with the blue skin pointed behind the counter. On the center shelf were 3 hats stacked on top of one another. Go away. By themselves, they were nothing special, but when you put them all together, they looked just like the tower in Kelly's message.
She can listen as long as she's not being loud and distracting.
All of the Thea sisters recognized it. "Excuse me," said Pam, trying to control her excitement. "Could we please see those 3 hats?" "Of course, but may I ask why?" the woman asked in a slightly suspicious tone. "Because, they have a nice shape," Pam replied, thinking quickly. The owner of the store nodded, but she seemed to be studying the mouselets carefully now. She gave them the hats, and they turned them around in their paws, not sure what they were looking for. She's pushing on the back of the case.
Okay.
Nikki read the tag inside one hat and noticed that the words sounded strange. "Hey," she called out, "listen to this. Backward, you can use me, but not." It sounds like part of a clue. The Thea sisters checked all 3 tags, and when they read each one out loud, they found that they could put them together to make a riddle. "I run forward, never backward. You can use me, but not buy me. Go where you can measure me." "It runs forward, you can use it," Pam muttered, considering the clues. "It's time," Violet explained. "It only goes forward, and you can use it, but you cannot buy it." "Brilliant," said Nikki. "So where do we go where you can measure time?" Violet turned to the owner. "Is there a clock shop near here?" The woman seemed pleased. "The oldest clock shop in the city is just a few steps away." She wrote the address on a piece of paper for Violet. "Thank you," Violet said, but the shop owner had disappeared behind the counter. "Okay, we're stopped there for now."